Hello, this is High Templar with my new Total War Warhammer DLC video, and I'm so excited because we just, like 3 hours ago, received a new cinematic trailer for the Kings and the Warlord DLC, and we also received some information on Total War Warhammer wiki page, so we will know pretty much exactly what we will get. However, I'm not really sure how it will work. Let's just see it and talk about it as we go. I can't hold the excitement about this, really.
Karak 8 Peaks, Queen of the Silver Depths. What riches lie beneath the mountain? What horrors? Few living remember its glory, but the dwarfs do not forget.
So the first legendary lord that we will receive is BELEGAR IRONHAMMER. If you've seen in the previous video about the confirmation of this DLC that I released just yesterday, if you see my last comments, just released this morning, you would see that I actually made up my mind that this is very most likely the lord that we will get. So let's see what other things we will get here.
A warrior king returns to take his ancestral throne from a cruel and cunning warlord. Hitherto unchallenged.
Yes. So we do indeed have Skarsnik as Greenskin's legendary lord, and as you've seen, and if you've seen my previous videos about the first video that I received, that I recorded like 1 month ago about this DLC, that I was hoping for SQUIGs, but I was just not sure that if we will get them, and behold, the SQUIGs, and Skarsnik also, very, very cool indeed.
What fate awaits them in the darkness?
And yes, this is Night Goblin SQUIG Hoppers. So this looks like a cav unit. This is Night Goblin cav unit that is, well, in tabletop it's pretty unpredictable, but here it will be just like a monstrous cavalry unit. Very excited to see them in the battle, actually. And from the shimmer numbers seen in this video, you can see that there is like 60 of them in the single unit, which would not, like, I was thinking maybe 24, but since they have pretty much nerfed Razor Gores in respect to the tabletop, they actually also nerfed the SQUIG Hoppers. Still very excited to see this unit. Will be probably mid-range to mid-range monstrous cav unit, probably like 700-800 cost. And we are getting bolt throwers, which I also thought we might get it, but not necessarily. And nasty schoolers. This is actually a surprise. Those guys are from the Age of Sigmar, and this is very interesting indeed. In the tabletop, they actually can have an ability to kill someone with a single hit. Obviously, in here that's not going to be the case. They will be armor piercing, which is also cool. And Dwarf Rangers shooting crossbows, no throwing hammers, but still very cool. This is also interesting because it makes sense from the lore perspective for Night Goblins to have a Warboss, and this Warboss to be better than the big Goblin boss. So it might be legendary level lore character, but it's just not present in the tabletop. or at least I haven't encountered him in tabletop. I'm not as much of an expert. So strange, but it makes perfect sense. So it would be cool to see him, whereas Skarsnik is Night Goblin Warboss, so it makes sense for them to be like normal Night Goblin Warbosses. And the Runelord, as expected again. SQUIG herds! So we have two boosting characters
and the Warlord
for the greenskins and the dwarves, similar like with the Grim and the Grave. Well, you might argue that Strigoi King wasn't ever exactly buffing, and I will go back here just to point out some stuff. So new legendary lords with obviously skills and everything, new additional lore types, 6 all battlefield units, so there will be no giant squigs, no colossal squigs, except for the one that our legendary lord have, and 22 new elite regiments of renown. So that's so amazing. So let's quickly look into the wiki page and see what we have here. So as you can see, I already read that. So we have there are some very interesting informations here. So this is repeated basically, and just basic background on those guys. What is very interesting here, unique start position, Belegar begins the grand campaign with the overship of walled settlement of Karak Isgor in the border princess territory. That's exactly, that's new. I mean, that used to be minor faction, and now there is a dwarf hold there, held by the, I would assume, dwarves, and they will also have a separate place with they capital basically. So they would have 2 cities right now. They used to have 1, which is interesting in its own. Unless you won't have your capital, then that would be probably where the, I don't know, I just baffled at that. I don't know how it will work in the grand campaign. But let's read that. Campaign bonuses. When chosen the Let Clue Grand Campaign, Belegar begins with the spirit of his ancestors. So killing Lund the Ironhammer, who was king of 8 Peaks. So that's why Belegar wants to take those 8 Peaks back, basically. And this guy will be Thane, and there will be also Stonebeard. Helkenhaf Stonebeard as a Thane, and Dramar Hammerfist as a Master Engineer, and Trony Ironbrow as a Runesmith. And they are all eternal heroes, means they are ghosts. So 80% damage resistance, anyone? And this also confirms that the White Dwarf will be coming, because the White Dwarf is also ethereal. And Belegar have access to new Dwarf Rangers and this building. However, until he captures 8 Peaks, Belegar suffer increased upkeep costs of his army, so he needs to get there as fast as possible, which is not that problematic because he's not that far. He will also get new quests, yeah, that we knew that. Now this guy, unique starting position, again, this guy begins in Karak Asgaras, so this is far away, very, very far away. He actually started the grand campaign east from Bretonia, and that is, well, not far from, well, that's very far away from Karak, 8 Peaks. And for the campaign bonuses, he will have a giant cave SQUIG Goblin, and also have Goblin Big Boss Hero, and unique boost for Goblin units, which obviously makes sense, reduced upkeep for Goblin units, and cost less, and he is particularly sneaky, that's true, so hero's action costs less and gain greater experience. That's very cool. However, Skarsnik can only recruit orcs in the Karak 8 peaks, so he must capture the 8 peaks, and he starts quite far away from the 8 peaks. So that's quite a road to get there, and many enemies to defeat, basically, because we know that he basically begins also in unique starting position, and it says otherwise that this is his home base. So it's not like he's leading a horde and the capital is in Blackrock. No, he's starting there also. So again, we have two different settlements in the campaign, and maybe we won't get Blackrock, maybe we will get both. Hard to say, really. We get a RUNELORD, which is basically buffed up runesmith. But what is interesting, and what I told about in my speculation video a month ago, that he will unlock the Anvil of Doom, and it will be a chariot actually, which is also interesting. But yeah, it will be a movable chariot that pretty much like War Altar of Sigmar. And Goblin war bosses will have special tree that will buff goblins, night goblins, and squigs, which makes obviously great sense. And they can at level 12 be mounted on the Great Cave Squig. So colossal squigs will only be mounts, which is yeah, well, okay, I'm fine. So we have new units also. We have squig herds. This is interesting because, yeah, it's called Crooked Moon and Clan Agarund. Like, those will be new factions almost. But yeah, we have squig herds, war beast, anti-infantry, vanguard deployment. We have night goblin squid coppers, which is cavalry, anti-infantry, vanguard deployment, and poison attacks. That's also nice. And nasty schoolers, which will be sneaky infantry with stalk, vanguard, and armor piercing, which is very nice indeed. And then we have Clan Argund. We will have raiders, Bugsman rangers, which I can only believe to be an upgraded version, although they have pretty much the same stats. And then we have bolt thrower, which is also field artillery and also armor piercing, so pretty much the same as cannon. It remains to be seen what is different about the bolt thrower and the cannon, must be tested and so on. We'll have unique building chain that can be built in Karak 8 peak for both of those heroes, giving different bonuses. More defensible, well, that's obvious. Large public bonus, unit experience, reducing corruption. That's actually very nice. And ancestor weapons. This is actually very cool. So you will be able to get magic attack for your units, and that is very, very cool indeed. And also for those guys, for Crooked Moon tribe, we will see that, yeah, so you won't be able to attack Karak 8 peaks, which is interesting. So if this guy gets in, basically, but he's far away, you wouldn't be able to retake it, which is okay. Expect for Clan Agarund. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's actually very powerful indeed. And obedience also, and experience for heroes, experience gained, and units reduce dwarf morale in surrounding regions. That's also very interesting, unique. And yeah, new dwarf building chain for the rangers and for the squigs. Very, very cool. And finally, we have regiments of renown. So we can get all of them and basically review them right now. So we have rangers with great weapons, because we'll have rangers with normal and great weapons variety. And these guys decrease enemy missile deflection and resistance, which is interesting. And they have magic attacks, immune to psychology, and there's Thunder Armor. And Thunder Armor is basically reduce armor for period of time. I would assume this is a new skill, but I would assume it works like that. And then we have Goblobber, which is unique grudge thrower, and that's very cool. Screaming Goblin Ammo, yeah, I have to see that. Then we have Gyro Bomber Skyhammer, which can drop bomb faster, it would seem. I'm hoping there is something more to it. Master with blasting charges, we just have more charges and frenzy, that's also cool. Flaming attack dwarf warriors, why not? I like that. Iron drakes with physical resistance, that's also very nice. Iron breakers with Vargan deployment, immune to psychology, and increased unit size. I mean, if you thought that iron breakers were quite tough before, I got to see those guys. I mean, come on. And we have also Dragonback Slayers. The Slayers which have charge defense, physical resistance, fire resistance, reduce target's speed, and increases target flammability. Oh yes. So, I mean, those guys would be pretty awesome. So if they, for example, chase any unit of skirmishers, those skirmishers will be running away slower, and Slayers are quite fast to begin with, and they have charge defense, so that means you won't be able to kill them with cuff so easily. You can only kill them with ranged, and you know, those range will mostly run away from them, and even if they do, they won't run away far. That's very nice Slayer unit. And finally we'll have all the Grumblers, so that these are Longbirds with great weapon. And those guys have IOE and IOE ally fatigue augment. So basically everybody around them will be less tired. That's also extremely cool, all those guys. And the Greenskins, the Rusty Archers, Night Goblin Archers with Goblin Sundering range attack and Poison melee attack. That's very cool indeed, I approve. That unit will be very useful. Depending on the cost, obviously, in multiplayer, but in campaign it will be awesome. Then we have Moonhaulers, Goblin Wolf Riders, Fear Death Creepers, okay, Regeneration and Stalk, that's cool. Then we have Goblin Wolf Chariot with Vargan deployment and Hide Forest, cool, okay, fine. Then we have Morgult Mangi Marauders, Goblin Wolf Archers that are immune to psychology and armor piercing, and they have armor piercing projectiles Hammer of Gork, Goblin Rocklobber. I don't exactly know what that means, because Goblin Wolf Archers with armor piercing projectiles, I'm okay with that, but Hammer of Gork, I know what Goblin Rocklobber is, I just don't know how it will work with Goblin Wolf Archers. Please comment on that if you know, or if you, I know, have any suggestions how it might have worked. Okay, and they actually debuff all the target missile accuracy defense, which is also very cool, and melee attacks and poison attacks. That is very cool unit indeed. And then we have Night Goblin Squid Hoppers with missile resistance. Yeah, okay. Night Goblin Fanatics that are unbreakable and have Dwarf on a chain. Okay. Really, a Dwarf on a chain. I need to see that. I just need to see that. Broken Task Mob Orc Boar Boy Biguns that are armored with Encourage. Oh yes. And then we have Crimson Killers. We have Black Orcs that are Regiment of Unknown. They have dual wielding great weapons with area attacks and anti-infantry bonus. Yes, so much yes. The Warlord's Boys, which are Night Goblins, immune to psychology and Thunder Armor. Well, okay. And Venom Queen, a Ragnarok spider that can summon spider hatchling onto the battle. I cannot express how excited I am to see some of those units. Really. So this is my analysis. We will get stuff. We won't get colossal squigs apart from being mounts, and the one colossal squigs that will be accompanying our legendary lord. I would assume a separate unit. I'm pretty sure it will be separate unit, but I'm not. I mean, not sure, but like 80% sure. So and apart from the mounts, but we have squigs finally, both squig hearts and squig hoppers. We have dwarf rangers, which if you've seen my video, I was talking that we need them so badly. Although it seems they won't have access, they won't have throwing access, which is, I mean, I would really want them to have this armor piercing missile attack. It would be just so cool. But yeah, okay, I will get what we will have solid hybrid units, both range and missile, with the crossbows, which were boosted recently, and very decent skills. And that is something. Obviously, they will cost a lot. Like at least, I'm thinking like 900 or something. We will see, depending on how tough they are. Because normal quarrelers are already quite tough. Maybe they will have. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. I'm very excited to see this, and I really want to. I really want to see some more videos from the Total War, from the Creative Assembly, to release how the campaign will look like. I will analyze this also, and I will post it as soon as possible. So this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos in DLC speculation, mechanics, but also my Let's Plays. Thank you for watching. War out.